Good morning and welcome back to Flannel Fun with the Carmel Clay Public Library here on Facebook Live. Today on this cold January day, Miss Alyssa and Miss Betty the Book Bunny are going to be talking about mittens. I hope you all enjoy the show.
Hello, everybody. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. It's so good to see you today. I hope you all are at home and you are nice and warm because it is cold outside. I have fur that helps me stay warm. But what about you, Miss Alyssa? How do you stay warm? Well, Betty, you're right. I don't have any fur. So when I go outside, I have to make sure I have all my winter gear on. I always put on my scarf and I put on my hat and my coat. And finally, I put on some mittens to help me stay warm. I have nice, cozy mittens, and that helps me a lot. I hope you guys are nice and warm too. Those mittens look cozy, Miss Alyssa. I wish I had some of those mittens. You know what? These mittens are very cozy. And I don't think you're the only animal that wishes they had mittens too, because I know a story called The Mitten by Jan Brett that is about animals and how they love mittens. And if you haven't read this story, you should come to the library and check it out because it has wonderful illustrations and it shows pictures of the animals that are coming. So you should definitely come and check this book out. But until you do that, I'm going to tell you the story of The Mitten by Jan Brett. This story is about a little boy named Nicky. And Nicky really wanted a pair of snow white mittens. He wanted his mittens to be white as the snow. But his grandmother, who liked to knit, thought that if he dropped his mittens in the snow, he would be able to find them because they'd be all blended in like camouflage. But Nicky really wanted those mittens, and so Grandma said she would make them. And so she did. And then Grandma said, now, when you go out and play in the snow, when you come home, I'm going to make sure you are safe. And then I'm going to make sure that you did not lose these beautiful snow white mittens that I knitted for you. So off Nicky went. He bundled all up. First, he got everything on, including his snow white mittens. And then before long, he was getting a little warm and he accidentally dropped one of his mittens, his snow white mittens, into the snow, and he left it behind. Now, a mole, just like this mole right here, he was tired from tunneling along underneath the snow and he saw the mitten, and so he decided to burrow inside. That way, he's all nice and cozy and warm in there. He decided to stay in that mitten because he was so cozy. Next, a snowshoe rabbit came hopping along. He's Snow White too. Maybe it's Miss Betty's cousin, I'm not sure. But the Snow White bunny came hopping along and he saw the white mitten. And he thought it looked cozy and warm. And so he thought he would wiggle in. And he wiggled in with his feet first. The mole didn't really think there was enough room for both of them, but he saw the big kickers of the rabbit. He decided to let that rabbit come in. And he moved over and made room inside of the snow white mitten. So now we have two animals inside, the mole and the rabbit. Next, a hedgehog came snuffling along. Snuffle, 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 snuffle. He also decided to move into the mitten to warm himself. The mole and the rabbit were bumped and they were jostled, but the hedgehog's really prickly and they didn't want to mess with a prickly hedgehog. So they moved over and made room. How many animals are in there now? 2, 3 animals are in there. And then next came a big owl. Whoosh! He swooped in and he saw the Snow White Mitten, and he thought he wanted to move in too. So the mole, the rabbit, and the hedgehog moved over because they saw the glinty talons of the owl. Now, talons is another word for claws. So they moved over. They didn't want to get scratched by those big claws. So the owl went inside the mitten too. Can you believe it? Mole, rabbit, hedgehog, owl, 4 animals. That's a lot. Then next came a fox. The fox trotted by. He saw the mitten and he poked his muzzle in. A muzzle is another word for his nose. He poked it in there and he saw and felt how cozy it was in there. So the rabbit, the mole, the hedgehog, and the owl, they saw the fox's big teeth and they decided to give the fox lots of room. They didn't want to mix with the fox with those sharp teeth. Now they're all inside the mitten. Next, a great big bear came along. And he did not want to be left out in the cold, so he nosed his way in. Now, the animals were packed in tight, but they were not going to argue with a great big bear. That would be crazy. So now the mitten's getting pretty full, but along came a gray meadow mouse. She wanted to get cozy too, so she made herself comfortable. And the only spot that was left inside this Snow White mitten was right on top of the bear's nose. Now, the mouse, what does it have on its nose? Whiskers, that's right. The whiskers started to twitch, and it tickled the great big nose of the bear. And the bear began to sneeze. He let out an enormous sneeze. Chew! And the mitten shot up and the animals flew out. The animals scattered everywhere. The mitten was up in the sky. Now, as the mitten was coming, Nicky was walking home and he saw a snow white mitten silhouetted against the blue sky. And so he ran and he caught his mitten. And then he went home. Now his grandmother was watching out the window. And first she looked to make sure Nicky was home safe and sound. And then she made sure that he had his snow white mittens. And thankfully, he did. Yay! Did you like that story, Miss Betty? I did like that story. I love all the animals. They're so cute, especially that bunny. That was cute. Do you have another story for us, Miss Alyssa? Actually, Miss Betty, I don't have any more stories, but I do have some rhymes. Would you like to hear those? How about you, boys and girls? Would you like to hear some rhymes? Yeah? Okay. My first rhyme is about, of course, mittens, but I need your help counting them. So I'm going to put them up here and you're going to help me count. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mittens. Now I have 10 warm mittens hanging on the line. One blows away. And then there are how many? What rhymes with line? 9, you got it. 9 warm mittens, one without a mate. A squirrel carries one away. And now there are 8. Good job, boys and girls. 8 warm mittens. 8, not 11. One gets buried in the snow. And now there are, what rhymes with 11? 7. Good. 7 warm mittens. Which one do I pick? I'll pick the red one. Whoops. And that makes 6. 6 warm mittens. Put on 1 to try. Then you take it from the line. And that makes, how many are left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, that's right. 5 warm mittens. We had 10 before. A fluffy bunny needs 1. And that leaves 4. Good counting. 4 warm mittens. 2 for you and 2 for me. I lost 1 on the sliding slope. And that leaves how many? 3. Good. 3 warm mittens. Looking very new. 1 falls in the mud. Oh no. And then there are 2 warm mittens drying in the sun. A bird comes down and snatches it. And that leaves 1. 1 warm mitten. What good is just 1? A little mouse can have a bed. And that leaves none. Did you hear the rhymes there? Do you have any more rhymes, Miss Alyssa? I do have rhymes. I have a rhyme about a kitten and her mittens. Would you like to hear that one? I think I know that one, Miss Alyssa. I know a song about the 3 little kittens. It goes like this. The 3 little kittens lost their mittens and they began to cry. Oh, mother dear, we sadly fear our mittens we have lost. What? Lost your mittens, you naughty kittens? Then you shall have no pie. Oh, meow, meow, meow. The 3 little kittens, they found their mittens and they began to cry. Oh, mother dear, see here, our mittens we have found. Put on your mittens, you silly kittens, and you shall have some pie. Purr, purr, purr. That's right. I do love that song. Thank you for singing that to us, Betty. Now that you got us all warmed up, I think we're ready for our rhyme about kittens. And this rhyme helps us with our colors. So which color is this kitten? Gray. It's kind of a tricky one. If you mix black and white together, you get gray. Now, my kitten began to cry too because she lost her mitten. What color is her mitten? Blue. She only had 1. So my little kitten asked me for help in finding her mitten. She said, then I found a mitten just right for my kitten under my mother's bed. But alas, the mitten was not the right mitten, for it was the color. Now, what color rhymes with bed? Red, that's right. Is that the right mitten for my kitten? No, that doesn't match, isn't it? No, so I kept looking and I found a mitten just right for my kitten under my father's pillow. But alas, the mitten was not the right mitten, for it was the color. What color kind of sounds like yellow? Oh, sorry, sounds like pillow. Yellow. Not close. It's a close rhyme, but not an exact rhyme. But that one doesn't match either, does it? Yellow and blue do not match. So I kept looking. I found a mitten just right for my kitten on the hand of my brother's toy clown. But alas, the mitten was not the right mitten, for it was the color. What color rhymes with clown? Brown. Does that match? No. So I kept looking. I found a mitten just right for my kitten under the laundry so clean. But alas, the mitten was not the right mitten, for it was the color. What color rhymes with clean? Green. Does it match? No. So I kept looking. I found a mitten just right for my kitten inside a grocery sack. But alas, the mitten was not the right mitten, for it was the color, that rhymes with sack, black. Black and blue, nope. All right, kept looking. I found a mitten just right for my kitten under the kitchen sink. But alas, the mitten was not the right mitten, for it was the color. Sink rhymes with pink. Does pink and blue match? No. He kept on looking. I found a mitten just right for my kitten inside my favorite shoe. And this time the mitten was just the right mitten, for it was the color blue. I finally found the right color mitten for my kitten, and it matches, and she was so happy. All right, boys and girls, it looks like we are out of time for today, but before I go, I want to sing our goodbye song, so I hope you'll sing it with me. Are you ready? See you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile. Bye-bye, butterfly. See you again next time. Stay warm out there, everybody.